Should we start with an apology for being like late in that?
Okay, well, yeah, let's just start with an apology for being late and that then.
All right. So we're not on a Monday here. We're on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for waiting. If you don't...
Because one of us was ill. Guess which one of us is dramatic enough to
post a picture of a guy in a coma on Twitter.
Indeed. Saying this is just a blip. There's nothing more suspicious than
But
saying
it was a Twin
wrong.
Peaks gif, and who loves Twin Peaks out of the three of us?
Liam.
Yeah, I was trying to psych him out.
So there's a mystery involved here.
It was definitely me.
Jake was ill as hell. So.
He was.
Really, really, actually, super, 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 super ill.
And I did not want you in my house.
No.
Yeah,
And now I've
truth.
only a cough remains. So I'll try and, that's as bad as it's going to get. Do you know what I mean?
That's pretty bad.
That's as bad as it's going to get,
Don't worry,
though.
you guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be no worse than that.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much for waiting, because we never fuck up on the podcast.
No, this is the 20th podcast, and we've been banging them out like clockwork, I guess, haven't we? So this is the first little hitch, but here we are. It's still coming out this week, and it's still...
And then you've only got a couple of days till the next one, then I guess less time to wait. So
indeed, what a treat. So hello and welcome to the Special Moves podcast. This is episode 20. My name is Mike, and these guys are Liam and Jake.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hey.
We have established already why we are late. Now let's put that to one side.
Yeah. Let's just all forget about it. All right. Bloody hell, all right.
What have you been playing this week, Liam? What have you been playing?
So I don't know where do you want me to start. Just because I've played bits and pieces of games just in like the run up to all the big releases coming out.
I do that. I do a bit of prep. Like I've been eyeing finishing off the Division because Division 2's on.
Exactly.
the
Yeah. So I finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider after owning it for 7 months, and it's the most 7 out of 10 game I've ever played. Not in a bad way. It's a well-made game.
Yeah,
but
you just can't go any further than that. You can't.
Exactly, yeah. Like, graphically, it's very good. The sound design in it was especially good. But it's just mechanically identical to the last Tomb Raider game. It's polished, but there's just nothing exciting about it that really sets it apart from the other Tomb Raider games.
I've been having great difficulty getting excited about these games. And it doesn't help that Laura is interested in them. Laura, my partner. But, however, she gets confused with which one she's played, because they're like... Rise of the and then they all sound like the last one to me. Anyway, I feel like, and the latest one was Shadow, right?
Yeah,
which definitely sounds like an Empire Strikes Back
and it definitely
title.
is the last one according to Square Enix.
But that Shadow feels like a second game in a trilogy title.
Yeah, the third one would be Legend.
Exactly. So you have the Rise, you have
you got like Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. But they've gone with Shadow last. Anyway, that's what Liam's been playing.
Yeah,
You've been playing anything else?
I played 2 hours of Skyrim for the first time ever.
Oh, that's big, actually.
You've held this. He's not mentioning
He's not mentioning this to me either.
I only played it yesterday.
It might not be good news.
I just thought, I've been having a decent time with it.
Damn straight, mate.
Yeah. I do have to say, it does show its age with the animation and stuff.
What are you playing on?
PC, the special editions, enhanced one.
You got it for about 60p then.
Yeah, on Steam sale.
Yeah.
But I've been having a good time with it.
50 quid on the Switch, of course.
Mate, you could mod it to fuck on PC.
Yeah.
But I'm quite fond of the old two-handed battle axe at the minute.
Yeah.
Playing as a Khajiit, because who doesn't want to play as a Catman?
Yeah, I play as Khajiit, actually. Yeah.
So I've been going the two-handed battle axe, just smacking everything.
Very nice.
Not far into it at all. I've just done that first, quest where you get the golden claw or whatever.
Yeah.
I've only just finished that one, so I'm not far in it at all.
That was like
I really like how
E3 demo. Yeah. Remember, like 2010.
That little dad run through the forest.
So and there's that bit where that little shit gets caught in the spider web and that.
Oh, so I just got out of the dungeon with that
disclaimer,
big boss.
not an actual small shit.
The last thing I remember doing was fighting that giant spider. In the cave. That was the last thing I remember doing.
There's a lot of cave fighting, a lot of spiders, a lot of... that was, I think, if anyone is going to complain about it, it's usually people moan about the amount of there's just loads of skeletons in it. And there's a lot of spiders as well.
Yeah. Compared to the other games. But the other games were still heavy on their own. Like Oblivion had loads of those elvish-looking ones, didn't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they had like the gates, the Oblivion gates, and Oblivion were really annoying.
Yeah.
Because they were like the dragon, like in Skyrim, you get like dragon strikes, I guess, and you like in the open world, and there'll just be a dragon, and then villagers will be running and stuff. Yeah. It's quite cool.
Which feels really like fluid, but on this they would just these stupid gates appear.
Yeah, and you'd be like,
and you have to load into this crap.
I remember Oblivion. I played a bit of Oblivion, but never finished it.
Yeah. Well, it's great actually.
Yeah, one of my favourite games.
Yeah. But Skyrim, it's so unusual, and I bet everybody even listening is like, whoa, somebody in 2019,
the first time I've played it,
they're playing. So I hope you have a lovely time, because there's a lot of bits. I remember the first time I went to Falkreath.
Yeah. There's a nice different feel to it. They all feel like they belong to the same sort of country.
I do like the sort of like Norwegian style setting it's got to it. Yeah. Snowy mountains, lots of like Scandinavian accents and all that.
The accents are all over the place. There's Scandinavians. I think they're Scottish. There's quite a few Scottish, but there's no. They're just dotted around, so it doesn't feel like you don't get more like Norwegian when you go with this part. They're just kind of spread out everywhere. Yeah, like
the Nords they're all like everywhere's got like your one Nord, one posh mercenary, or whatever. But there's a lot of cool. The best thing about those games, it's the same as Fallout, man. You just finding the little places in between the bits. I mean, the main story I can remember being alright, but. Better than Oblivion's, but man, just take your time and enjoy it.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I mean.
I'm playing it at the moment as well on the Switch. I got it for Christmas,
nice.
So we'll share stories. Jake, what have you been playing?
Well, obviously I've been very ill, and my missus has gone back to work. She's been away on maternity leave, so she's finally back to work this week. So I've had the baby, and then I've been being ill, but I have managed to play one game, and I keep coming back to it, and it's Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It is good.
I'm just being a little wanker on it, though. And it's,
but that's fine. You can do whatever you want. You can
exactly. Well, I don't know what it is, It's the only game I want to play. I just keep loading up. I played today, for example, So Sean finished work at like 2:00. I had a couple of hours before we came here, right? I know you don't care, listener, but just fucking bear with me. It's part of the story. And I thought, right, so she's got a baby. I'm going to play Gears of War 2. I loaded up.
Yeah.
Gears of War 2.
We need to play some.
By the way, the menu is dated as fuck, right? Anyway, come on, start doing it.
When you every time you change an option, does it go, yeah?
The guy, there's got so much shit humour in it, I forgot about, like...
A lot of bro humour.
There is, like, there's a rookie, and he's like... Oh, I'm supposed to be shadowing you, sir. And then Marcus is like, your first assignment could be to guard here till we get back.
Yeah.
That's not how he sounds. And then
good, though.
And then the guy's like, but there's nothing to guard here. And he's like, sounds like a great first assignment to me, Dom. And then he goes. Right, anyway, so was on it.
Yeah.
And I turned it off.
I can hear it. In my head.
to play Sea of Thieves. Because what I've been doing, and guys, I've got to tell you, right? I'll condense it. I won't make it like what I told you, just big story. Because I sent these guys a message saying...
It was multiple paragraphs.
Yeah.
Saying, like, long story short. And I sent you, like, a 5-paragraph message.
Yeah.
I've been having so much fun on it. Basically, I've been stowing away inside people's ships. Without them knowing, and then obliterating their ships and they're out. It's honestly...
Okay, I think Jake just said he's been stowing away on people's ships and obliterating said ships when they're out.
Yeah, and then stealing their cargo.
And stealing their cargo.
And then, cashing it in. I've been having, honestly, I'm
bit.
pissing myself laughing playing it. And you can hear them communicating, panicking. But it's so funny because the art of sneaking onto a ship without being seen, right? And the game lets you do it, like... You know what I mean? The game's not telling them.
It's a total sandbox. Like it's very. Are you okay, mate?
Yeah, I'm just trying to not cough.
I have some coffee, and
I am laughing.
Yeah. At your own story.
Yeah, well, it's not me. It's the other people remembering how panicky they were, and that it was really funny. And then you know what really adds to it and stuff like that is that like. You can just really plan ahead. Like I found out where they were going, so you can go ahead if you've got like a one-man ship.
Oh, because okay, so it's all based around like the islands have all got nicknames and stuff.
Yeah.
So they go, oh, we're going over to whatever island.
Or this is the brilliant thing about this game, right? Like even if they don't communicate, you can sneak into their map room and see where they've marked. You can see that their point of view. So then you can jump off your ship, go to your rowboat, get to your ship, sail ahead.
That's pretty Metal Gear Solid. That
Colonel,
I'm in the map room.
Yeah. Honest to God, yeah. There's so much stuff that you can do in it, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Great.
The only thing is,
I want a spin of it. I want because I've re-downloaded it.
Yeah, because it all started when on the gaming night with the patrons.
Yeah.
Me, Liam, and then 2 patrons, Ryan and John, were playing, and I played it a couple of times before and stuff, but like I quite enjoyed the loop of it, and we were doing a couple of voyages. So I've been doing voyages by myself, like really menial ones. I've been doing the trading one. For those that are listening and know, the merchant ones where you just literally collect cargo and put it back and stuff, basically. But there's I
definitely know what you mean. It's the loop is good. I played it with, I can't remember if it was Patreon, and I can't even remember if we were streaming it or whatever on Pretty Good Gaming, but we were just playing it, and I was really enjoying it. Proper got like it kind of, and I wasn't like, I was having a nice time, and I was like, yeah, this is good, and I was proper skeptical about it beforehand, and I didn't like it at launch, but since they've been chucking stuff in there for you to do, I'm sure we played it together a little bit.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, I think it was just 2 of us. I mean, I don't know if we were sharing a controller or something.
Yeah, something like that. But and I was thinking, but it was one of them where I was thinking about it a lot afterwards, and I was like, I'd like to try and do that, and I'd like to try and do.
Well, what's weird about it though is that it's hard to keep up. So, like there was a big thing called the Hunger in Deep. You guys can remember that one of the bits of DLC,
one of the updates, sort of.
And it was when you had to get a crew of like 6 people or something like that, like quite a big crew, and you had to meet an NPC. Summon this Megalodon, right? Do all this sort of long-winded stuff to get this Megalodon out.
Made famous by the recent Jason Statham film,
The Meg.
The Meg.
So it's not. Anyway, this is over now. That event's over. So what do they do, right? Well, they've got 3 different types of Megalodon now that just roam around randomly. We actually encountered one when we were playing it.
With the glowing fins.
But at first I was like, well, that's definitely a Megalodon. But I googled it and. No, apparently you had to do this big quest to get it. But no, it's really hard to keep up. After events are over, they kind of release event stuff into the game randomly. I fell down this rabbit hole searching for information during this like discussion thing. I've ended up seeing leaked screenshots of the new stuff that they're bringing next week, which I don't know how much I want to say about that really, but I've seen with my own eyes.
It's quite a nice surprise.
Yeah, well, there's a big thing called the Arena that's coming out, and I've seen the details of that, which you can. If you hang around on Reddit long enough, someone will just contact you and just fucking send you all these screenshots. It's weird, man. But yeah, I've been really, I don't know. And by the way, you might be thinking a bit of breaking the law here, a bit of fucking story breaking here. Jake's scared of the ocean. Yeah, mate, I am. And I play it, and I am fucking well scared when I drop into the water.
Right.
And I've got a clip on my phone of this time when Liam was actually there, right? I tried to board a ship and I fell by accident, and there was a Megalodon under the ship, and we didn't even know that the Megalodon was there, right? And I fucking almost pissed myself. Genuine
well, you need
terror.
to get a hold of yourself because it's not that big a deal.
No, you don't. Well, yeah, but if you're scared of it, you don't. It is a big deal.
You keep playing it though, you get over the fear, won't you?
Yeah, so I'm trying, but
or you'll get so immersed in the world that the thing will become more terrifying.
Well, it just makes me a great sailor because I always try and make sure I get to the island so I don't have to go into the water.
You got a generally good sailor sort of. If you were sitting there telling me, if you were saying that actually happened to you, and that's why you don't go on the high seas anymore.
Exactly, I do tell stories like a sailor anyway. There's quite a bit. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of fit. So for whatever reason, anyway, Sea of Thieves, I was gonna fucking do a thing on it on one of the shows, but I can't.
Well, if there's a new thing up,
I'll wait for a big thing because I just
quite
me
fancy
telling
playing
a tall
that.
tale.
If you want to have a spin, guys, because that would
be
quite fun. So I have been playing quite a few things, mainly Hitman 2, which I've got to tell you, I'm so annoyed I didn't play it before Christmas because it's genuinely like Game of the Year material. I really think it's fucking brilliant. It's really good. My problem, big disclaimer, I didn't play Hitman 2016, so it's the exact same recipe And it's just sort of, more stuff, I suppose. They've added things that you can do and changed the way things work. But oh my god, Hitman 2 is really good. It's a lot of fun. It's so unbelievably replayable. That's how they build the whole game. Like, it gives you it gives you 5 levels or something. But you do a level once and it's like, nice one, well done, you've unlocked this, and this. Before you move on to the next one, play it again.
Yeah.
And then it kind of you've basically, you can choose what objectives you want to do, and it gives you all these different ways and means of taking people out.
Yeah, I know. Well, the first big change that you notice when you do the first level is if you start again, you can start somewhere else.
Yeah,
like you can. So
which is so cool.
Yeah,
and you can already start in disguise as a vendor or as a mascot or whatever.
You kind of unlock them as rewards, don't you, for doing the first objective? So it's cool because then you can. You can even go back and try the first mission. It's exactly the same thing, but try it as a hot dog vendor with a vengeance.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, exactly. But it doesn't, like, one good example of the mentality is the fact that you can basically pick up multiple amounts of anything, and you can end up with a massive inventory. And it doesn't matter that that's not realistic. It's just fun. It's just more fun if you can just have more tools to use, and it doesn't matter. And there are like, if you've got an assault rifle, it will show on your back, obviously. Like, that's part of the game, part of the Hitman thing. But outside of that, you can just there's not a lot of limits in the way of what you want to do, and it is that really good sort of sandboxy type of we keep referring to it, but like Divinity Original Sin, where if you think that could work, it should. It should in this game, and it's the same in Hitman 2. I'm having a lot of fun playing that. Another game I've been playing a lot of is Dead Cells on the Switch. I'm proper getting into Dead Cells.
It's good, isn't it?
It's fucking well good. It's very good. It's a lot of fun. There's the point after the first sort of opening bit where you hit the like the sort of respite room, I suppose, and you get like some progression options and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's good. That's quite nice. And then the way that unfolds is really satisfying. And it's like the things that they choose to, because it's like one of them. That classic type of game that every game is now, that when you die, the world resets, and then I'm not gonna use the phrase because I'm sick of always being
this is the only one worthy of it as well. To be honest,
that's fair. That's fair. But it's that type of game where the world resets, you die, and you start all over again. But the things it lets you keep and the things it makes you get rid of, it's just absolute genius. Like sort of game design.
I think
really
it's been
good.
designed to be like what it's trying to be like, whereas most other games just chuck these procedural elements in and like reset.
It's roguelike. It's Metroidvania.
Yeah, but this really is trying to, perfect
pay
that,
homage to it.
get the balance and right, like stuff like that, and really getting everything nailed down. And
the story stuff is just mint as well. Like, the story stuff is really good. Like, what you're actually controlling and playing as is a lot of fun and things, and the way that there's very sparse dialogue and stuff as you'd expect, but when it comes up, it's usually quite good. It's usually like makes you ask a question, or makes you wonder, like, oh, that's weird, or it makes you react,
especially because it is so infrequent that when you do get something, when
it's
you
like
speak
a
to
Dark
that
Souls
woman,
cutscene or something, like you pay attention. So
exactly, it's
so,
weird, Dead Cells, because it's gone from the sort of who's playing it and why should I care, to like nearly everybody's at some point now playing it, or you haven't played Dead Cells.
I'm proper late to the party, but I got it. It was the first time it's been discounted on the eShop on the Switch. And
it was over the Christmas time, right?
Yeah, it was a few quid cheaper, and I picked it up straight away, and I definitely do not regret it, because it's a lot of fun. It's just a fucking good game. But as far as Game of the Year, I've not played. Well, I've played a few hours of it, but I don't. I feel like I haven't sort of really explored what it's about enough to talk about Game of the Year contention and stuff. But Hitman 2, I played loads of it, and I do feel like that. I'm just annoyed I didn't play it earlier in the year, last year, and I could talk about it.
It was still out quite late, though, wasn't it?
It was out
to be
late,
honest.
yeah. But it's just good. It's just Hitman 2 is absolutely excellent. So let's talk about some actual planned stuff that we've planned discussions around. Resident Evil 2, the one-shot demo. That's another thing that we have all played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I played it twice.
Of course you did. I wouldn't expect any less.
I had to. It's Resident Evil 2.
So Resident Evil 2, the upcoming remake, which is out on the 25th of January for PlayStation 4, PC, Xbox. it's a complete remake of the Resident Evil 2 classic, using the Resident Evil 7 game engine with the Resident Evil 4 sort of over the shoulder. Those kind of controls and inventory, and you only get like, it's called a one-shot demo, but like people have been finding workarounds for it and shit. Like straight away, you can just use a different account, for example. If you want to do that on PC, you can like fiddle with the Steam settings and shit like that.
Yeah, so you can like, I think, isn't it something just opening Task Manager resets the timer or something silly like that,
Right, okay.
So you've got like 30 seconds, but on PC, if you just Control Alt Delete, you've reset your timer.
Yeah.
So
It's something through the achievements as well,
Right.
where it tracks you. Because it has achievements on PC for some reason, the demo.
Okay.
But it turned out that's how they were tracking your playtime. So they can see you've unlocked the 30-minute achievement, and so they cut it off.
I can on the one hand I can see why they put a limit on it, because it is quite a big space that you get to explore, quite reasonable for a demo anyway.
Yeah.
And I can understand why they'd want to put a cap on that to like preserve as much surprise as possible for the full thing, right? But did you guys get on right with the 30 minutes? Did you feel like it? I've really felt like I didn't get enough time to enjoy it, but I guess that's the point. I feel like I want more, so it worked.
I played through it first on the Xbox One X, and I kind of rushed through it on that one.
Yeah, me too, a little bit.
So I was like, up against the timer. I wanted to see if I could finish the demo before getting timed out, which I did. Cause it's got quite a hard cut-off point anyway.
Yeah.
But then, I played it again on PC and just took my time exploring that one. I still had like 5 minutes to spare or whatever by the time I took my time.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Jake? How did you get on with it?
I got timed out actually, which is I'm
surprised I didn't, but I was checking the time at about 10 minutes. I was like, fuck. I've got to see the end. I want to see what what the ending is.
No,
so I was like running.
I went like I was just straight away. You're supposed to like go right or whatever through that bit. And I wanted to go up the stairs, have a little look about.
I was doing that for 20 minutes.
Milling about,
and then I was like, shit.
And it was the part I just got back in after you slice the box open with the masking tape and you go around that west wing and then you come back around. It was just like as I'm getting there, it was when I got cut off. So I got to see. I don't know how far there was left.
You reach a certain point within the level, you get radioed back to the lobby. You go back to the lobby.
And that's where it ends.
Little cutscene.
So I spent a lot of time looking around and looking at the zombies and watching how they moved. Actually, like kiting them because wow, it's actually that's really 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 impressive. Like,
I mean it's. I think a lot of stuff about it is impressive. I mean, we're going to talk about this. We're doing like a Resident Evil 2 special for the Thursday show this week, right? Because it's a week before, a week in hand, I guess. Plenty of time.
Time for people to get remember what the original one was about. And that.
So we'll do proper like impressions and stuff in that. But there's a lot of impressive stuff about it. Liam, you're definitely the biggest Resident Evil fan.
Probably,
of the three of us. So what did you think?
I loved it. It was everything I wanted. It was everything I expected. And if anything, it left me, just hungry for the full game.
That's exactly what it was supposed to do, isn't it? That's what I was just saying about myself. Because I finished it and I was like, I really want to play more of this.
Yeah.
And obviously that's what it's supposed to do, isn't it?
Like, the wait is kind of agonising now.
Yeah.
And I've not felt like that about a game for quite a while.
Based on what I've experienced, I'd be very surprised if it wasn't a really highly rated game. Like high 80s. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's some stuff in it there's like the zombie animations and reactions and stuff are so good. The pacing of it is so good. Like the pacing of the actual gameplay is really good. Like it takes a while for them to go down. Classic Resident Evil stuff. But in a fresh game in 2019 that looks really good and that has got that all that stuff, good stuff that we love in it, I think it's gonna be like 86, 87 on Metacritic.
I think it's very safe. All you need to do, is all you need to do. But if you've got if you've got a classic like that, all you need to do is make it beautiful and functional.
Yeah.
Not change too much. Just make everything in the original there, and that's it.
The story's already there.
Exactly.
You can maximise the nostalgia factor.
If you change the story, then you'll probably lose. Anyway, they seem to have they know what they need to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head if it's triple or quadruple. You guys might know, but like the demo downloads on Steam for Resident Evil 2 Remake, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 95% sure, it was triple Resident Evil 7. And I think that people, more likely to buy a game that they know is going to be good Like, what I mean is, like, Resident Evil 7 was one where people were kind of doubting it because it was off the back of 6, and it was going first person, and people...
A lot riding on it.
Yeah, and people had heard that rumour that, like, the guys were unkillable, and that's something that we've seen, like, in, like, Amnesia and loads of horror games lately. So signs were looking pretty bad for a lot of people with Resident Evil 7, suffice to say. You know, people that are doubters, and I'm glad that they were all wrong. But
I've got to say, there's an air of football punditry about this.
Yeah, but Resident Evil...
There's suffice to say.
Listen, I've watched Sunderland Until I Die on Netflix, mate.
Yeah,
I'm a changed man.
me too. It's fucking well good.
Anyway. Resident Evil 2, you know where you stand with it.
Yeah.
Because you probably, if you've been around the ring with it, you would have played it, innit?
Yeah.
And if you've not, you would have played some form of it, Resident Evil 2 Revelations or whatever. Or if not, you want to get in on it, look at the state of the graphics, man.
It's definitely one of the top things of the whole year for me. Like has been for the last few years now. Like we did in a video recently. One of the biggest releases, one of the most anticipated titles, are coming out in January, and it's the same company that's putting them out year after year. So
they started the trend,
so that's good news if you like Resident Evil. So we're going to have a Resident Evil 2 special on the channel this week as well. So we'll do more like impression stuff, more info, bit of a history lesson courtesy of Resident Evil expert Liam McKelvey.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Big Randy's Night Out. I don't want to talk about this for too much because we're on half an hour already, guys, and it's going well. But all I'm saying is I don't want to talk for too long about Randy Pitchford's preferences.
Catastrophic mess up.
Yeah.
All right, let's not talk. Right, okay, yeah. Let's talk about the mess up
Let's discuss it quickly, because people will definitely ask us what we think about it. So
okay, yeah, sure. So for those that don't know, Randy Pitchford, who is the CEO of Gearbox Games, has been taken with a lawsuit because he was suing his ex-lawyer for what he says is fraud. This guy Wade Calendar, they were good friends actually,
right?
And they filed a suit against him, so he's filed a counter one, but that's the one that's picked up information, and that's the thing because of what's in it and shit like that. But before we go any further, I'm not trying to fucking school you or anything in it, but as you know, loads of the time someone gets sued, they will sue back, innit? Just as fast as they can. You know what I mean? You're suing me, well, I'm going to fucking sue you. How about that? That's how it works,
It's like that Brad Pitt punch in Snatch. It's you just take the lawsuit and you just
I'm a dickhead. No, you're a dickhead. And you're a pedo. Well, that's basically what's happened, right? So the allegations that have been made by this guy, Wade Calendar, who, by the way, this isn't just some regular employee snapping back with a lawsuit. It's a fucking lawyer, yeah? So he's going to come correct. It says a lot of stuff. It says a lot of stuff, yeah? He says that...
So let's completely 100% establish Randy Pitchford. Will be very familiar to anyone who's watched any Jim Sterling output of for the last 5 years.
Jim Sterling famously don't
need
get
to
on.
have sex because they just don't stop talking about each other, and it's weird. Randy Pitchford's the guy that looks like a 70s cop show fucking desk detective that doesn't like his job no more. He's got slick back hair, Hawaiian shirts on, he's a big chap, and he's got a bit
he'll say whatever he wants, he doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. He's
and the game terms, he's involved in Borderlands 2, very infamously Aliens Colonial Marines. There's a lot of I don't know how to really put that, but there's a lot of
he's a controversial
negativity around that.
He's a controversial figure in a way because the way that he handled Aliens Colonial Marines in the press was not only unapologetic, but it was almost like he was blaming everybody for having high expectations, which really left a bad taste in people's mouths. So anyway, Randy Pitchford is like I'm saying, that, and as a personality, a lot of people find him unlikable. Not everybody. I'm just saying a lot of people find him a bit of a sleaze because he's a fat cat. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, this guy's a corporate fat cat, and So,
so the law established who Randy Pitchford is.
So that's the baseline. I said, we were thinking about this in the podcast, and then Mike said, "Does someone want to do a rundown of this?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll do it. But I don't know if I'm the best one to do it, and it's because of this. I can't control myself." Right. The lawsuit alleges that Pitchford struck a deal in 2016
Yep.
to take a secret bonus, and I know what this sounds silly, but he was going to get a $12 million executive bonus paid to him with his, limited company, Pitchford Entertainment Media Magic. Because, by the way, I forgot to mention this, and this is important a little bit later on. Randy Pitchford, loves a bit of magic.
He's a magician.
He loves a bit of magic. Anyway, so that bonus, if it wasn't going to go to his private company, would have had to go to the Gearbox staff otherwise. This is, 12 million for your staff, or take it all for himself. This is what this guy, Calendar, has said.
Alleging,
is alleging, which he's called particularly tragic exploitation, because millions are being siphoned to a personal account instead of funding the development of Borderlands, which is obviously a game that a lot of people, no matter where they fall on the sort of fucking the Randy Pitchford side of things, are anticipating.
And that's a huge thing to level at someone, really, isn't it? So
you fucking embezzled 12 million's a lot. And then here's this is the one bit that I guess everyone wants to talk about, so I'll just go through it as quick as I can, and then we can just say our little piece and move on. Basically, Randy Pitchford had a USB stick that had
allegedly.
No. He's
definitely. He's
admitted this.
He confessed.
He's admitted.
He alleges that he himself.
He's admitted all of this bit. So this is fact, according to Randy himself and this guy Wayne or Wade, whatever. So Randy,
not Paul.
you know what I mean. Other guy, innit? So he had a USB stick, like one of them USB dongles, and he put company secrets on it. Yeah. So already you're thinking oh my god. You've got a USB stick. What do you do with a USB stick with company secrets on? You don't want to do two things.
Password.
One. But there's two things you don't want to do, yeah? One of them is make a porn folder on it. And
that's quite high up the list.
Yeah. Like as a joke, if you thought someone has a fucking... as a joke, you said Jeff Bezos from Amazon has got all of Amazon shit in one Excel folder. What does he not want to do with that? You'd say put loads of porn on it, but no, Randy Pitchford did. The second thing that you don't want to do if you've got a USB stick full of company secrets and now porn is take it out for lunch with you to a medieval themed restaurant, yeah, or anywhere. But Randy Pitchford did that, and he lost it. So he lost this USB drive, which had a collection of. Now this is the thing that's floating around. Okay, so in Calendar's lawsuit against Randy Pitchford, he has said, and this is the quote, upon information and belief, Randy Pitchford's USB drive also contained Randy Pitchford's personal collection of, what are these things? Because they're not quotes, but they're one
I was honestly going to say fingers.
Underage pornography. Underage, right, not full-on underage, he's saying just underage pornography. Anyway, so...
Sorry, not full-on underage?
No, he said it underage, like this, but we're going to find out why now.
Oh, I see.
So, this is where it gets a little bit weird. I mean, this guy's... of course, this guy's alleged... Randy Pitchford has got a USB porn folder thing full of child porn, and he's took it to this medieval restaurant and lost it. Stupid bastard. Randy Pitchford, hours later... after this was said, was on a magic podcast, because remember I told you he loves a bit of magic.
Podcast about magic, is it?
Magicians.
Yeah, like card
tricks
and that, yeah. Mm-hmm. And anyway, he appeared on that podcast, and he spoke about this USB stick, and he told his version of the story, and said that he did actually have porn on it, and that he had saved a porn video on it before it was lost. He then explains what happens in the porn video. I won't go into detail, but it's on the internet if you want to read it. Doesn't really matter.
You sick bastard.
Yeah, so he goes in detail to talk about what's happening. But this is my favourite bit, though, right? This is my favourite bit, yeah. So he explains the full act of what she's done, and then this is the quote. This is the fucking one, boys. This is not a sex worker. This is a fucking magician. That's his exact words, yeah? So that's why I think he thought it was okay to bring it up. He just wanted to talk about... I guess the magic of the female body or whatever. But then, he said this quote, some kid, an employee of the medieval times, discovered this memory stick, took it home and accessed it because it was before we were password protecting. Dickhead. and discovered secrets of my company and future games in development, and also discovered the pornography, and it was barely legal porn. The girl's handle was only 18.
I see.
So there we go. So that's Randy's side of the story. This calendar guy's also, and I don't want to brush over this too badly in case it did happen, but at the same time, we've got to move on. So he also said that Randy Pitchford had these like weird like Illuminati sex parties where men would expose themselves to young girls and stuff in a bit of a fucking, what's the guy, Harvey Weinstein way kind of thing, Louis C.K. shit. But so he basically looks like Calendar was chucking as much shit he had on him, but
I mean, it was like, it wasn't just chucking shit at someone.
Yeah.
I mean, it is actual shit as well. It's not like
well, you were fucking.
We're not talking. You know, we've got the embezzlement stuff, which is what you'd usually find in this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's all of these other different allegations, which is like this is whatever happens from now on. It's a huge mess. Like probably, it's gonna have to take a lot of time in court and stuff.
Yeah.
Just let's say for a minute that Randy Pitch was completely innocent. It's going to take him years to sort of repair that kind of thing. That's how big this is. It's a huge thing, and it's just mad when it's in the games industry, so it gets talked about on podcasts.
Yeah,
it's on fucking.
It's not something that happens in the game industry often, is it?
Well, yeah, it's not about new releases or trailers or anything. It's just a huge news story, you know, and it's pretty wild. Like, I mean. I don't really know what to say about it because it's just so
big if true, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Big if true, and it's one of them. It's one of them where you just because of the way it's come about as well. It's not like a criminal investigation or anything like that. These are like someone who's countersuing someone.
Yeah,
and that's where it's come out. So it's all a bit of a.
But he's,
wait and see what happens sort of thing.
This guy knew Randy Pitchford really well, and in fact, another thing that you don't see that much mentioned is that he's also taken Randy to court, not just with Gearbox, but with, and this is typical of, I mean, if $1 million embezzlement, paedophiles, and fucking sex rings aren't enough, these two guys, this is a fact, these two guys who are having this now have a real estate company together. And that's going shit. Randy and this guy, his ex-lawyer, owned a real estate company. So it's all a bit True Detective Season 2. Like, it's a bit, do you know what I mean? A bit Illuminati. And it's, I don't know. I find the whole thing a bit, it's not about the games, is it? So it's like, everyone wants to know what we got to say about it and shit. And all that matters is Borderlands 3 is going to get a shit time. And all these sad bastards that work for Gearbox, like, they're always just completely in the shadow of Randy Pitchford. And it's, I say for better or for worse, but it's pretty much always for worse. And, like, it must, I don't know, like, is it going to help or harm your CV at this point, working at Gearbox? Because everyone's going to be like, oh, you're the Gearbox guys. Like, they've escaped from a cult or something.
No, I'd say the games industry would be pretty, they would just look at what they worked on. And they would be, and you'd, on your kind of CV or whatever, you'd show specific stuff that you worked on. Like, I did the textures for this level. Look how nice
you were a designer on Borderlands 2 or whatever.
Yeah,
true that. Yeah. Just seems like a weird thing and a bit of a, again, companies' reputations are one thing, but Gearbox's reputation is very closely associated with the specific guy.
Sometimes companies are just inexplicable, just completely. You can't remove the person from the company.
Like
and
Peter Molyneux, Lionhead, and that.
Hideo Kojima Productions, for example.
Yeah.
But there's just and that exists with Gearbox, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's not positive. The connection is what I would say about that. Regardless of all the stuff that's sort of just come out, it's absolutely gobsmacking stuff. It's huge stuff, and I just it's just something that this is going to be in the news for ages now. This stuff is going to just keep popping up, and then
every time there's like a tiny update, it'll be front page of everywhere.
Yeah, so let's talk about Destiny. Bungie is no longer. Well, Bungie is now solely responsible for publishing of Destiny, which means no more Activision, which is another.
I was going to say, it's not too far removed from what we were just talking about. Like the big company with their reputation.
Yeah.
This is a big.
Let's just put Randy Pitchford in the bin.
No, but I mean, it goes nicely straight into the conversation about this, because it's another thing people are talking about.
Yeah.
And it's this Activision's reputation is so bad. People are very excited for this.
I'm starting to see some hot takes popping up on the internet already. From I think Polygon did one where they said, "Oh, it's not all going to be bad news," and they had an argument about why it's not necessarily great news that Activision isn't going to be involved with Bungie.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm very much.
Where are you guys on this?
That idea.
Where are you guys on this? Are you good or bad?
I'm optimistic.
I'm very optimistic. I've got to say.
I'll
tell you about the Megalodon.
I'm just thinking about the ocean, man. I just listen. It's something I can't help shake, and hopefully, I'm not spoken to you about this yet. So hopefully, you can set me right live on air. That's definitely got hold of me. But I remember when we were covering Destiny from launch all the way through.
Yeah.
Curse of Osiris, we were on it a lot, and we were covering it a lot, and I seem to remember between Curse of Osiris and Warmind, and including Warmind, everyone was pissed off. Everything that went wrong.
It seemed like every week there was something new that went wrong with it.
Yeah, and I can remember a lot of that was Bungie. I can remember Bungie being the ones to implement this, and this. Yeah. I'm thinking, actually, Bungie, you are the problem child here, yeah? And I know what it sounds like, but can I remember that rightly, or am I just thinking back?
No, you're right. And then I remember there being some... I can't
there was a lot of like infighting between development team and stuff like that.
But there's this thing they've got where didn't they release a statement or something where they were like, a lot of this... I can't remember what it was. There was someone inside the company or something was saying all this stuff about like why, I don't know, like why they, the microtransactions that came from Bungie and all this and all these bad things came from within Bungie. And it was, I can't remember what it was. It was like a leak from a disgruntled employee or something like that. That's probably completely wrong. I know what you mean. I definitely know what you mean.
It was Jason Schreier thing. It was about it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and Bungie were like going a bit mad, and they restarted the whole game 6 months. And that was their idea.
That was that.
So
story,
much of it is like
that came out after the game came out. But that's the story. Yeah, you're totally right. So Liam, you're optimistic though. I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
Why are you leaning more sort of positively than...
I just think, they should be, in theory, free to do whatever they want. Realise their ambitions or whatever. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know, because obviously they were too ambitious the first time round Destiny 2, which led them to restart development on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think Bungie are historically quite a good company, all the way through like Halo 1,
maybe
2,
one
3,
of the biggest
Reach.
gaming series ever.
Yeah, twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
but then again, there's reports that like Microsoft had to rein them in on Halo 3 and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think they'll just, without the oversight of a big publisher, and I think they might make Destiny a different game. I think they might make it more like of an RPG, like it was originally planned to be.
Yeah.
I'm more excited than anything, just because of like.
It's movement, isn't it? It's just what's happening. I'm the same. Just the mere fact that something big has happened is exciting to me. And
there's hope for the future, as Paul McCartney would say. I did. I went there.
Nice.
That's a reference to the Paul McCartney song "Hope for the Future," which came out the same time as Destiny 1.
So, I don't know. I think like just they can do whatever now. Really, they don't have to think how do we make it mass appeal. They can just. Like, what do Destiny fans want? Let's just see if it works.
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. They can try something else.
Yeah, exactly. And if I think with the one thing that people do say a lot about Activision that I agree with is that they just, look at Call of Duty, look at fucking Guitar Hero, they look at the skateboarding games and shit. They just kind of pump things out. They just like to churn things out. They like to have the same release every year, and that was happening with Destiny. It was happening in a different way to Call of Duty. It wasn't a new Destiny every year. It was Destiny, huge expansion, Destiny 2, huge expansion. So we were due another big launch this year of some kind.
Yeah.
Will that happen now? I don't know. I don't know if there'll be a big. I'd probably prefer if there wasn't. I'd prefer them to just keep beavering away on Destiny 2.
I think they said they're going to honour the. Do you remember the roadmap they put out?
Right.
They said they're going to honour that all the way to the end of 2019.
Okay.
So there should be like more big content drops for Destiny 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they've got this Black Forge thing now, which is like recurring spending, which I can't tell if that's Activision.
Is that
or
Black
Bungie.
Armory or something?
That's
like that?
it, yeah. Sorry, and the Forge is the part of it, isn't it? That's
Right.
the thing that keeps you coming back, yeah. But they've got that in there now. So Activision finally got the recurring spending in there. But I don't know if that was Activision or Bungie. You assume it's Activision because it involves money coming in at copious amounts. But
Activision would have been ploughing money into Destiny. Famously, they were saying Destiny was a $500 million game.
yeah,
With a 10-year plan.
Yeah, and whether that means that was a budget for Destiny 1 and 2 and
I think
3,
it was for
or,
like the entire
10-year.
planned out
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, and then they put loads of that into just marketing the game and stuff. So, and they really do put loads into that. Like with the EGX that we've been to, Destiny has an enormous presence. Destiny has like
it's
a stage with and it
They've got
stands
like
out.
50 odd consoles set up for everyone to have a go.
One of the
Giving
biggest
shit
ones
away.
there,
There's loads of staff.
T-shirt, free Rockstar drinks. Do you remember that when we
Yeah.
went?
I remember the
And that's
headache.
just what we saw in one event,
Yeah.
So you can imagine what it's like everywhere else. I'm generally like really excited about it. I think that just having fewer cooks involved, like just because then it's just the studio, and if the studio is also publishing, then you haven't got this entire other group of people who have their own aims and their own like
By fewer cooks, you mean for anyone that
C00.
yeah. So as not spoil the problem.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Get rid of all them cooks, all them soy boys.
Yeah.
Get all of them out. No, cooks. As in,
Fewer
chefs.
Yeah, the fucking agenda.
There's just less people involved, and then I think that's a great thing. And my only concern is the money. I think is because Activision would have been pumping money into it.
Yeah.
But how much of that was really a net benefit? As long as the shooting is absolutely incredible, which I'm
The foundation's there, isn't it?
exactly. And I would like my main request is bring back old Russia. Bring back old Russia.
I don't know if anyone could hear Mike clicking on his laptop there, but that followed by my main request on, so you've got like a manifesto. Like, my main request is
I've got a
this.
97-page report. It's bring back old Russia, because that was fucking amazing from Destiny 1, and I want to play that again.
If they finish Destiny, the series of Destiny 3 and like fan service it big time and have the places from Destiny, 1
I
and
don't
2.
see why not. I don't see
Just
there.
like every location put into one game.
Yeah, it's such easy content. If they even if they've just whacked a 15 quid thing on it and say you get all the Destiny 1 stuff with new and shiny and more events and shit.
Yeah. I think that,
that.
it's a good thing ultimately. I'm just, I'm just reminding myself at the time Bungie, but maybe Bungie were just doing it because they were like fucking fighting the system from the inside, man. That's what people reckon, didn't they? That Bungie from day one were a bit weird with Activision and stuff like that. And Activision, and sometimes if you've got someone like breathing down your neck or like meddling, like it's just gonna make you think like fuck off, man.
Yeah.
So if they've, and also if they're not got anyone's like safety net of like billions and billions to flip in. Sounds a bit Donald Trump then, he says that a lot, doesn't he? Billions and billions. But like if you haven't got the safety of like Activision's loads of money, you're going to be like shit if we
More
don't
careful.
So does that mean we're going to see a safer game, and then by safer it'll be more fan servicey, or are we going to see this sort of completely unchained like Bungie that people have been clamoring for? Like Liam was saying, Halo 3 was like held back from its true ambition. Destiny 2 was too ambitious. So what happens if we just fucking let them get on with it? Once if Bungie just go, right, let's just fucking do it. Let's see what game that they can do. Like, they're going to be like a mad scientist about it. I want to see it. So I'm looking forward to it. At the end of the day, it'll taste better in everyone's mouth knowing that the money's not going to Activision. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everyone fucking hates them, don't they? So I don't know. I think it'll be cool, but I'm just thinking it'll slow down production on Destiny 3. We won't see it for like years now.
Yeah, I'm fine.
gen.
I don't need it. I just want more. I think the gaming models are changing and stuff, aren't they? We all know that. We didn't really need Destiny 2. Really, they could have just done that as a big expansion.
Yeah, for sure.
Done it like taking the World of Warcraft approach.
Yeah, like Activision Blizzard. Yeah,
like Activision Blizzard. Yeah. So that could have worked, but they went down the route of going sequels, maybe because it's a console title and they think that's more whatever. I just don't think. I think whatever happens in the future, they just make more good things. And I'm fine with microtransactions and stuff. Even the loot boxes don't really do, because there are loot boxes. Destiny was one of the big offenders, wasn't it? When everyone was talking about loot boxes and shit. There's all these games having loot boxes all of a sudden. Yeah, the Eververse store. If I guess just straight microtransactions would be fairer for the people who are interested in that. But I'm not at all. I do not give a shit about microtransactions, and I would never consider buying any skins or anything like that. It's just not for me. So it doesn't really sort of get in the way of the enjoyment for me. So I just want more nice things. And revisiting classic Destiny stuff, it is classic to me because I liked it. But like bring the raids and stuff from the first Destiny.
Yeah, they could just ship all the
shit.
content over. People would be happy.
Why the fuck not? Now they've got more, like Liam was saying just now. You got more freedom to do stuff, and people aren't going to be annoyed. Like you'll get like knobheads going, "Oh, you recycled content and shit." Like, just fuck off. Just don't buy it if you don't want it. Then just don't stop moaning about everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Right on, man.
It's
yeah.
like-
You tell them, man.
You could do it like an MMO, where like if you look at Final Fantasy 14 or whatever, they take stuff from like Final Fantasy 12 and patch it in as like a special event for a week.
You
and
get
stuff like that.
World of Warcraft, original state servers and shit, like where people really try really hard to organise and get these like. Get the game as it was, like, back in the day sort of thing.
Yeah. Just like do like a special event, like a raid, patch it in, it's like return to Old Russia or whatever.
Why not? Yeah. I'd love that, man. Old Russia was a great.
The world's at
game
oyster now, though,
Yeah.
and it'd be interesting to see because you know what? At the end of the day, they got no excuses anymore. Have they? Like, do you know what I mean? Nothing
they can-
holding them back. So the only limit is by their budget, really.
And if they say we don't think that's a good idea, if
They've
they
got
don't
to
think
answer
it's
to
good,
nobody. Like they have to answer to Microsoft. They have to answer to Activision. But you got to wonder, like, for a lot of developers, that's a dream having two big publishers like that behind you, and to leave, they must have a good plan.
it's
must have a
it's
good
worked for Hitman. Hitman's got a different thing going on
Gone
now.
independent.
Sure.
Yeah, and they left because on mutual grounds, I guess.
Yeah,
mutual
exactly,
terms.
yeah.
And it sounds like the same thing. Like Activision clearly wasn't happy with Bungie, and Bungie clearly. And it sounds like it was very amicable, and they both sort of went, "This is probably the right thing."
Things
to do.
aren't good at Activision anyway at the minute, are
Oh,
they? With
God,
the whole
no.
whatever's going on with Blizzard and Activision. I think they're under investigation at the minute by their own shareholders.
Yeah, no, they are. They
because
really,
they didn't tell their shareholders that Bungie were leaving.
Yeah.
And this was like before stock went on sale. So
Yeah.
now like their stock is devalued
Yeah.
because they've lost Bungie.
Yeah.
And now so
And
the
what was
whole
that?
like management is under
They gave
investigation.
the new CFO a 15 million sweetener bonus or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
13 million, I think it is actually.
Yeah.
Only a mere 2 million off. But yeah, they're just literally in rewards for starting the job. Like imagine
Yeah.
starting a job again, like 30 mil.
Decent. Right.
Nice one.
Good luck with that, Activision. I'm sure
Yeah.
that'll sort itself out. And all the best, Bungie, because I do like Destiny, and I want you to do a good job, because I want to play Destiny.
Yeah.
So, Dear Special Moves, if you send us an email to dearspecialmoves@gmail.com, there is a chance, however minuscule, that we will read it out. We are getting quite a few emails in, which is very nice, very good.
Yeah, look, we got one just 7 minutes ago.
There you go.
Not lying, see. And they're a lot of fun to read, and even the ones that we can't get everything onto the podcast, but even we read all of them, and some of them are really nice and really funny, and someone wrote a banger of an email, really good it was, and I was like, this is a good email, I'm going to read this, and then right at the end, it was like I was looking for a good English group of lads or something like that.
Oh dear.
Classic.
How embarrassing.
Basic mistake, mate. Yeah.
He's banned now, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to say his
Banished.
name
Yeah.
because I forgot it. But it's regardless of all that, email us dearspecialmoves@gmail.com, and we'll read out your email in the podcast. It can be, an opinion, a question, something you want to point of contention if you disagree with something we said, or if we were completely wrong about something. Just tell us, and then we'll read it out and we'll have a chat about it. First up is Julian, who this week asks a question. Do you think games like Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War will look dated in 5 or 10 years? How much better do you think games will look in 10 years' time? All the best for 2019. Hope the channel continues to grow. Cheers, Julian. What a nice email. Simple question.
Yeah, well.
They
will.
They 100% will.
Dead Cells won't, but God of War will.
People say Crysis still holds up and stuff, and yeah, it does hold up. However,
Yeah.
it also kind of doesn't. Like, you look at them leaves, they're pretty flat, my friend.
Yeah.
There are things that just the technology just moves on in ways that you can't. And a lot of great graphics these days are like a direct result of the lighting. So, and if we get to a point where we can see through that, that's when you'll know it'll move on. I think how good can games look in 10? I don't know. I think they're getting to the point of like looking photorealistic. Some games do because they literally are photographs of stuff that are on the textures and shit.
Yeah.
So that's, photogrammetry, whatever they
That's how
call it.
Resident Evil does it, isn't it?
Yeah.
They literally just take pictures and scan it in.
Yeah, and that's a technique that, I think it was like, I can't remember if it was Vanishing of Ethan Carter or one of these types of games, like an indie game, but the main focus of the game was using that technology to make it look as photorealistic as possible, and it was just amazing when it came out. But then you look at that now and you're like, well, it looks nice, but it's not. But I remember the date that came out, everyone was raving about this new technology and saying it looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, tech just moves on, doesn't it? And even movies date really badly if they use CGI.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what was I watching the other day? I was watching Tomb Raider.
Right.
Don't watch it. It's
All right.
I've already seen it. It's too late.
There you go. But
It's too late.
It's too late for me.
For the folks at home, don't make the same mistake that me and Liam did. But that's got CGI in it. That
It's not good by today's standards.
it's not good by today's standards. So I can only imagine how bad it's going to look in 10 years' time. So
Let that be a lesson to you.
yeah, don't try things.
All right. Yeah.
Unless
Right.
they go back and remaster it for like a special edition DVD release or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's not how it is.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
George Lucas, there's going to be some film
Yeah.
maestro going, Tomb Raider just wasn't quite the thing I had envisioned when it came out 20 whatever.
I'll get Peter Jackson and he'll fix it up.
Yeah.
He does a good
Fixed
job.
up that First World War footage. Did a right treat. Right. So thanks for the email, Julian. There's another email here from Reese, which is very long, and I'm going to read it. As an avid listener and watcher of your channel, I've always found your enthusiasm for enjoying the game Divinity Original Sin 2 enthralling. Isn't that nice? He's found our enthusiasm
Yes,
enthralling.
mate. Finally. Fucking finally, someone.
If you guys enjoy it so much, I've always thought, how can I not enjoy it? This is where my problem comes. I've been watching videos and reviews on it to try and get a foothold into what it's like and what it's about. I really enjoy the fantasy setting, and the prospect of creating my character from scratch and being able to make it what I want is a big plus. However, unlike others that I know have played the game, I've never played any of the games this game was inspired by. I am very partial to RPG games like Elder Scrolls, Fallout, especially New Vegas, The Witcher and so on. I tried to get into the earlier Fallout games, but I just couldn't. The only game I've played which slightly resembles it was Torchlight 2.
That's a good game, though, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Not as...
Just looking at the camera.
It's the same camera angle.
Yeah,
but
I know.
it's-
Yeah.
Big mistake.
which was rather enjoyable, but rather forgettable, if I'm honest. My question to you is, because of you hyping on about this game, I think he's harping on about this game, would it be worth me buying it and playing it? Yes.
Yeah, it would actually.
There's more, but the answer to all of your questions is yes.
Yeah.
Just it's
It is rather
it's a
good.
fucking good game. It is rather
Yeah.
good, yeah. It is rather one of the best games that have come out.
I'm
in the
kind
last
of in the
few
same
years.
situation where I'd never played like Baldur's Gate 1 or 2
Yeah.
or Planescape Torment or whatever. And I actually only bought Divinity because of peer pressure from you guys. But I ended up
mate.
enjoying it
Yeah.
more than I expected to be honest.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed
we
it.
would have a great time playing at co-op. That's
Yeah.
probably one thing I would say to you is if you know anybody who's already got it,
Mm-hmm.
I would say 100% get it. If
Yeah.
they like up for playing it with you and stuff, just go
Yeah.
for it. But
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got someone in your house that wants to play it, 2-player.
local co-op, yeah, very
Mm-hmm.
flexible.
Yeah.
You can get it on console and PC now.
It's a hell of an adventure as well. That's the thing. Like, if you want like a proper like story, like you want to go on an adventure with your housemate or whatever, it's a fucking banger. I remember playing Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, which isn't even like a good Baldur's Gate game. It's like the fucking shit hack and slash one.
Yeah,
With very
I played that loads of my
Yeah, on the and I was gonna say I played that local co-op with a mate, and it was like fucking ace because you felt like whenever you went to the tavern or went to the sewers under, I think that was the first instance or whatever. I knew that's fucking ice forest with the spiders and that, man. Like it's just everything's a bit more exciting when you're doing it with friends, and like that. This game is great by itself. It's great.
regardless of the friends thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a good- it's a
it
good
really
game.
is. But if that definitely is going to sell it to you if you've not, it's the friend aspect of it.
It sounds like it would work for someone because I imagine there's loads of people in this situation where if you're into your sort of your more AAA sort of thing, if you're into The Witcher and Elder Scrolls and stuff and Fallout, then it's basically the same ingredients, but the it's presented in a very different way. And but if you play Elder Scrolls and Fallout and The Witcher and you're like, I really like the NPCs and the side quests and stuff, and I really like the way
exactly.
this has got Divinity Original Sin 2 is like a masterclass in creative quests and creative quests, and it never feels like you're doing the same thing. Like, how many games have you go into a dungeon, retrieve an item, come back, or even not even go into a dungeon, just go somewhere on a map and retrieve an item and bring it back. If there was anything like that in this, it's for a very good reason, and it's probably hilarious, or it's probably something huge later on, or something like that. It's just an absolutely brilliant game made by very clever people.
This is an example of a game as well, so good, and so good for its genre. You don't have to do the required stuff. You don't have to play Baldur's Gate 2 to see. Like, this is the best example of it. I think this is better now, after I've had time to think about it, better than Baldur's Gate 2. This is the best example of
You've
what
been
it
saying
does.
that for a while, haven't you? And I don't see why not, to be honest. I mean, I'm with you on that. It's
the only thing is, if you play this, every other game you play like this isn't going to be Divinity Original Sin 2. So that's the only thing.
Yeah.
Liam's what's the point of Liam getting another CRPG? There's just not, is there? Do you know what I mean?
Because everything else will just be disappointment.
Yeah, innit? So that's the only thing.
I mean, it's so good that I've not even been thinking about Pillars of Eternity, which is a very highly rated CRPG. That's also, it's just
both were crowdfunded, both from respected veteran developers.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
there is just something. I think if you've played Fable as well, that might help you get into the right mindset of like the writing and the general feel of it, sort of thing. It's it's very good, mate. Just go and fucking buy it. Right, this one's from Chester. Games recently have seemed to forgot how to be cool. I love this email.
Yeah,
for example,
loser games.
Yeah. For example, I think back to the soundtrack in the original PS1 Wipeouts, and it had a selection of underground, up-and-coming electronic music that was experimental for the time. It's actually a good point.
It did, like Aphex Twin was in it and stuff, wasn't he?
The visuals were also incredibly unique, with its dark atmosphere contrasted to bright neon lights. I recently played the remaster, and among more generic visuals, the game's soundtrack picks the most standard EDM anthems they possibly could. Why pick Deadmau5 over Aphex Twin?
Oh, yeah.
Is this just me, or has the industry lost its cool? Yours faithfully, Chester.
Nice one, Chester.
Good email, that.
Well, lucky for you, Devil May Cry 5 is out soon. The coolest of games. The coolest of game series. So, there you
Can't
go.
argue with the guy, can I?
I reckon
got a
it's-
fucking like red fucking trench coat on.
There's
or
trench
whatever.
coats,
Yeah, yeah.
there's big swords, there's big guns, there's one-liners, there's demons. What's not to like?
There's pretty cool indie games, I think, and even there's a lot of indie games that think they're cool and they're fucking not. But there's a lot of indie games that are just pretty cool.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you're still using the word cool,
No,
there's a certain level of what you want out of something. Because
I think that like this guy Chester, right? Chester's cool factor is closely associated with the soundtrack for some reason.
yeah.
So like aesthetically, there's
Well,
lots
no,
of
he also says that the visuals were like darker and the contrast with the darkness and the bright neon lights.
Right.
Whereas the Wipeout, he's totally right, and the Wipeout remasters are just very bright, colourful games.
Well, it's maybe not cool, but Liam, you're probably gonna have to take over. But if I can lead him in the right way.
Okay.
There's loads of games now that have a non-boring, generic Deadmau5 or Monster Cat Records soundtrack, and the gameplay so integrated that I guess you'd call cool, like Rezo Gun or whatever. Do you know what I
Resogun,
mean?
yeah. Anything made by
what
them.
other games are like that? Like, is that the one that's they're all fucking transcendental like experiences?
Yeah.
Tetris Effect.
Tetris Effect, Res Infinite.
That's it. That's what I was thinking of. Res Infinite. Yeah.
yeah.
What else?
Which I suppose is the same kind of overall experience, the same sensory experience as Wipeout.
Yeah.
Because you're just watching bright colours
Yeah.
moving very, very quickly
So you-
and trying to...
Yeah, no,
and
so,
you're
yeah,
directing...
you see where I'm going. You see what I mean, right? Like the big contrasting colours, weird soundtracks that are not only something that you didn't see in the PS1 days that much, I guess, where it's really like audio surf.
Yeah.
I guess it's really going with the music.
Those stuff like
Maybe
Hotline Miami 1 and 2. There's
Yeah.
a cool little indie game called Just Beats and Shapes, which is like a bullet hell shooter
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
just like, plain old geometric shapes, but that's got a great soundtrack to it.
The some
Messenger.
stuff...
Messenger's good, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my pick for the coolest game.
Anything made by Platinum Games, like stuff like Bayonetta, Metal
Yeah.
Gear Rising.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Rising especially. What's cooler than, suplexing a mech while a guitar riff goes? What's cooler than that?
All right, I was going to say something, but I'm not going to now.
You can suplex a
just
mech.
That's
That
the
is all
biggest
you
full
need.
stop I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And this is the last one from simply someone called C.
Oh.
Excuse me for the swearing that's about to happen. I just finished level 6 to 4 in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and I fucking hated it. It's a rocket barrel level. I detest rocket barrel levels. I love Tropical Freeze, and while booting it up, I was thinking how I actually feel sad that I'm on the final island and the game is nearly finished, and then a rocket barrel level comes up. This will keep me from 100%ing the game. I just don't ever want to play another rocket barrel level ever again. Kind regards, C.
Is that it?
That's the,
I love that. Yeah, brilliant.
yeah.
I watched yesterday. An Awesome Games Done Quick, which happened recently. Yeah,
the speedrun sort of thing.
I
they
watched-
raised a couple of million for charity.
Yeah.
I watched something I've never seen before. It's a speedrunner race where they get two, like, you know,
Oh,
world
nice.
qualified speedrunners. The world record holder and then the number one champ.
World qualified.
The contender.
Can you go to university for a speedrunning degree?
I don't know, mate.
Don't see
I
why
Is
don't-
it arts or technology?
Well, anyway, it was Void who's like the world record holder for the fastest Donkey Kong Country on the SNES, and then it was Stu, the guy who's the contender, and he ends up beating him. But I was watching two speedruns at the same time of Donkey Kong Country, and it's only 31 minutes long, and that's just all I've got on that really, and it was pretty mind bending, man.
I watched two people trying to speedrun Pokemon Gold against each other.
It's
on
in these
Awesome
races,
Games.
they're mad. But Rocket Barrel levels, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, best 2D platform of all time. Everyone knows that.
I watched someone, I thought it was like, I don't know, I think it might have been fucking Donkey or something like that, saying that very positively comparing Donkey Kong Country to Mario Brothers U.
Oh.
And saying how Mario Brothers U is like, you know, it gets all this plaudits and it's really popular and stuff, but the level design, the levels and the level design doesn't really do anything. They're kind of the same, but the level design in Donkey Kong Country goes somewhere and it tells you
Especially
stuff
Tropical
about
Freeze.
Yeah, Tropical Freeze. Sorry,
Yeah, I showed you a level once, remember, on the train, and I was like, you need to play this level, because it was just a fucking Sahara.
Yeah.
Everyone who's played it knows what I'm on about, the big Sahara level, the big jungle bit. Oh my god. The levels are, properly well
very
designed
creative
for it.
and
Yeah,
they
it's a
feel
shame
unique
that
from one another
Yeah,
and stuff.
shame it's got rocket barrels, isn't it?
So thanks for the emails. dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. If you want to send us your opinions, your questions, your whatever, just email it to us and we might read it out. But we definitely will read it. So I don't. Maybe that's a little bonus. I don't know. So new releases before we finish. Tuesday, January the 15th, which is today. Which we'd usually be recording this ahead of time, but we were late for reasons.
I bet he's already got it.
Onimusha Warlords. It's out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Liam, do you already have it?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
The key
you do.
arrived on the way here.
Yep. I bought it off Green Man Gaming.
Right,
Got
superb.
my
Fucking
email.
Superb. Right, this is Onimusha. This is a it's a remaster, re-release. What is
Remaster,
it?
yeah.
Okay, remaster of the classic Onimusha game, which is probably a little bit underloved, maybe.
Highly rated, but seems to always
Get overlooked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets missed out in conversations.
Yeah,
a lot.
despite being quite influential.
Yeah.
A lot of games at the moment taking
Good
the same
reviews as well.
essence as it and stuff. Yeah, good reviews.
Sneakily, I reckon Dark Souls took a lot of it, man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
And you
fucking
know,
hard.
when you play it, you
I
can
remember it
kind of
being
tell.
Yeah.
I might pick this up on the Switch tonight. It'd be like,
Yeah,
what, it's like
it's
14, 15 quid, isn't it?
16
Yeah,
quid, I
it's
think.
good
That's
price.
cheap, that. So that's out today, January
Today,
15th, which is yesterday, I think, by the time the
Yeah,
podcast
yeah,
goes
yeah.
out, if things go well. There's also The Walking Dead, the final season, episode 3, Broken Toys,
Yeah.
which is,
Yeah.
the Telltale games have,
The
well,
final ever. Telltale's game.
R.I.P. Yeah, this is the end.
Made where? In some sort of bunker? Some sort
I
of one of
don't
them,
know.
like,
Oh,
fucking,
well,
like,
don't know.
refugee tent things, those big white tents. Where are they making them, man? I don't know.
Maybe. Refugee jokes, eh?
Where are they doing it? It's because I've seen the Fire Festival fucking trailer recently.
Yeah,
and
that
they've all got them big
documentary, man,
tents.
I really
And
want
I'm
to see
thinking, is that where Telltale are held up in one of them?
Probably just a Starbucks, isn't it? And they all took their laptops round.
Well, I have really no information on this at all. I haven't researched this at all.
Yeah.
Right? But so they might have already made it. They might have already finished. But from what
Yeah.
I've read about previous Telltale games, especially like Tales from the Borderlands and stuff, there was basically like a very small team of people making the final episodes because they would just
Yeah,
the
it's like a
company-
skeleton crew.
Yeah, and that was the problem with the company. So they could get away with doing it with 9 people or something mad like that. And I don't know if the number is 9, but it's just like a small amount of people.
And if anyone's playing it, like, because I don't know anyone that's caught up with it, and I was really excited originally for the end of this, but I haven't bothered now because I'm worried. And please answer this question if you've played it: has the quality really dropped off? That's what everyone wants to know.
Well,
Everyone wants to know. Is the quality
How
dropped
would you
off?
know that? Because it's gonna be the same situation as it was anyway. It's just the people will be doing it for the love of it, or for whatever money is left. For whatever small.
No, that's what I
I
mean.
can't
Like,
remember. Some company said they were gonna finish it off, didn't they?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember who it was though.
or fund it
But,
at least. Like,
Yeah.
so that's what I mean. But if it's not, if they're having to do it in between other things,
Yeah, madness.
which is for some reason what I think that they're doing. I don't know why. They think that they're doing it like how we do these videos,
Yeah.
like in between day jobs.
But it's
Come around mine and we'll code this next 20 minutes.
But it's kind of happened how actual TV happens, which is quite ironic considering that its ambitions to be a television style game, where TV just kind of things are going great and things are going, oh yeah, that season wasn't so good. No, okay, suddenly it's cancelled. That's kind of how it's happened with these games, which is a little bit of irony there. Sad, really. Thursday, January the 17th, we're getting Yakuza 4 on the PlayStation 4. If you've, Liam, tell me, has that been out on the West before?
It has. It was on PS3. This is just like a straight
Just moving
1080p remaster on PS4, as far as I know. Anyway.
There's also something called Eek, a postmodern RPG, coming out on PC.
I've heard rumblings about this, but I have no idea what it's about.
The only reason I mentioned it is because I've seen a weird amount of headlines about it.
Yeah,
in
same.
gaming news. So I thought,
How do you spell yeek?
well, Jake,
Is
it's
it
a
YK?
Y,
Oh,
Geordie,
yeah.
Y-I-I-K. A postmodern RPG.
Okay.
No, I really want to watch
Seems
that
to be
Sunderland
picking up
documentary.
steam in like the indie scene. From what I've
Yeah,
noticed.
there's got to be something about it. It's on multiple platforms: PC, Mac, Switch, PS4. Xbox isn't on there, but I don't know if that's right. But it's not on this list anyway. And then Friday, January the 18th. This is a huge week for Liam. Ace Combat 7: Skies Unknown.
Yeah.
It's on PS4 and Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Combat Flight Simulator.
It is, yeah. Arcadey plane dogfighting game.
Yeah,
I love it. I love the
played
series.
it.
a lot of
Kind
drama,
There is.
a lot of personal stories.
There's a lot. There's a lot of anime bullshit in Ace Combat, but
Okay,
it's
well
so,
you said it, mate. This is,
I know, but it's so melodramatic. It's like
yeah,
different, like all fictional countries going to war with each other, and like
Yeah.
this one's about like a princess who gets arrested or something, and there's like you get
mid-air.
yeah you play as like a pilot for who's it, the Ocean Federation, I
Yeah,
think they're
sure,
called.
sure.
And then you get accused of a murder you didn't commit, so you get sent to prison, but then they need to call you back into action again, so they put you in this like combat squadron made up of prisoners who used to be pilots.
Yes! I'm into it.
Actually,
Yeah.
honestly, this is like an 80s movie.
It is,
sick.
it honestly is.
I
And
bet you there's,
like
like-
so much melodramatic stuff going on, I love it.
There's got to be sequences, right, where you've shot down loads of planes and they think, yeah, that's it, they're going, oh, they're fleeing. And then it cuts, right? And then there's like a huge aeroplane. There's a really
That
big
happens
aeroplane.
all the time. That happens at least
It's a
happens at least
secret type of
once every
bomber.
game.
Yeah, there's got
There is.
to be a
It's
common
called
theme.
Arsenal Bird in this one. Yeah, it's real. It happens.
I'm actually...
One of the best.
Is that a secret Metal Gear there?
so. It might as well be. One of the best moments in Ace Combat is in Ace Combat 5. And it's just like, you think you've beaten the game, and you're
Yeah.
doing like you're flying over a stadium just as like look at these, the heroes of the war type thing.
Yeah, but
and then
plot twist.
plot twist.
Arsenal Bird.
Not Arsenal Bird, but halfway through, like the country gets attacked by a secret squadron of fighter jets,
Yeah,
and it's great.
Pearl Harbor 2. Pearl Harbor.
Oh,
I can't...
play Ace
there's-
Combat if you haven't. It's
There's,
so good.
There's more
So
games,
good.
but I just can't be arsed mentioning them after after Arsenal Bird. I'm gonna have to end it there. I'm gonna have to. It's only right. Thanks everyone for listening to the Special Moves podcast. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with more chat, probably about Resident Evil 2. I guess just more excited discussion about why we can't wait to play it.
And my Ace Combat impressions.
Ace Combat stories.
I want to know what's going to
more
happen.
soap opera
Yeah.
details.
I'll fill you in.
Bit of Onimusha, impressions.
Geek a postmodern RPG,
You can,
man.
you can
Let's
rely
find
on that. Yeah, 100%. See you next week.